What's going on, guys? It's your boy Ethan. Hope you're having a great day. And if you want to know how long these videos are taken to make or how long they're backlogged, I'm at Bally's for the WSOP right now doing the bankroll challenge here. Playing some 1-3. Wanted to mix this in for sure because I just think it's a really cool venue, really cool atmosphere, and I just busted a tournament. So it's time to play some 1-3 and get some content. So yeah, if you're wondering why you're watching some WSOP content from December, I'm making these ahead of time because I don't know how long it's going to take me to actually finish this. And yeah, it's a $300 max and it's going to be hard to make money. But I'm going to try. That's what this challenge is all about, so wish me some luck. Let me know what you guys think about these videos. Hit that like button, and let's try to grind out some 1-3 action. It's time this bankroll challenge takes the WSOP. Sitting in the 1-3 streets with $300 as the starting stack. I pick up pocket threes, nice, in the hijack as the first hand to play, and I raise things up to $10 here. Fold around to the big blind player who defends the big blind. We're going to a flop in position, and it starts off with King, Jack, Deuce, Rainbow. He checks it over to me, and I'm pretty sure in theory I'm supposed to bet really big here, but how much does that apply to 1-3? We'll find out, right? I bet out $20 here as I think it's optimal, and he doesn't look happy, but ends up calling anyways. Is this an angle? Is this just trying to give off a fake tell that he's weak? I don't know, but I'm not going to fall for it as I think he's definitely got a better hand than threes. We're going to a turn now, which is the ace of clubs. It should be a good card to bluff on, but I'm not going to do anything like that. Action goes check, check. When the river comes a 10, he bets out $15, pretty small into the size of this pot here, and nice hand, sir. Pocket threes, I'm not going to do anything crazy, not going to raise, not going to call. I just fold, and we lose the first hand of the night, but ready to bounce back with ace-4 of hearts and +1. I raise things up to $10 here and only get the small blind to make the call. And the flop is pretty good in giving me a flush draw of Queen 9-6. And when he checks it over to me, I certainly know I'm betting this one with a nut flush draw. I bet $15 and he calls. Trying to hit, the turn is a 3. Not the one I'm looking for, so I'm happy to take a free card when he checks it over to me. So we're going to see a river now, which comes a jack, but it's a diamond. The wrong red card dealer once again. Darn. Can't hit my flush draw, and when he bets out $25, just going to play standardly against these opponents. I have ace high, no need to raise, no need to do anything else, and just fold, losing the first 2 hands. So after these first 2 hands, I'm down $50 already really quickly. I add on for $50 more just to top off my stack. Definitely important to do so to make sure that your stack is always at the maximum to make the most. With the stack re-topped off, I pick up ace-jack offsuit in the hijack and once again raise things up to $10. Once again, I get the small blind to just make the call. So going to a flop of Queen 8-8 Rainbow, he checks it over to me, and with ace-jack high, certainly can do one of 2 things, which could be a check with good showdown or bet really small to deny equity from hands like Jack 10 or King 10 and random cards that I could be beating right now. And for $6 to go, he makes the call. When the turn comes a king, once again, it's another card that I could definitely start betting on, but when he checks it over to me, didn't get the feeling that he had a hand that he was able to fold, so I believe him, and let's just see a free river, which comes another 8. 3 8s on the board, and he bets really small for $15, and I'm thinking, look, I block all the strong queens and King X, and it smells like he's betting for thin value here on this river, like a pair of queens just blocking. And can I ever get someone to fold a full house here in these streets? I'm not sure. So it's time to put a queen into a pretty uncomfortable spot in my opinion, because I'm obviously not just going to call with ace high, and folding here isn't really an interesting play. So the entertaining route would certainly be to turn my hand into a bluff and raise things up to $65. Certainly going to put any queen into a tough spot, as you know, they lose to a king, they lose to aces, they lose to maybe even pocket queens. And here for $65, this player doesn't look happy, and he thinks about it for quite some time before announcing donation. Oh no, and calls. I yell out fair catch in response. This player shows ace queen of spades. Nice hand to you, Abraham, who watches the channel and who caught that punt. He tried to punt it off himself, but little did he know he was taking it back and returning it for a touchdown. Nice hand. The following hand, I pick up pocket threes once again, and this time I'm under the gun. Certainly can just fold this one, but I'm trying to play hands here in the 1-3 street, so I raise it up to $10, and I don't think this is necessarily a great strategy, as this might be a little too wide, but here we are, happy to play more hands, but I get the player to my left and the big blind to call. Going three ways to a flop, which comes Jack 8-3, 2 clubs, baby. Just bottom set. How fun is this? That's why you raise threes under the gun. When the big blind checks it over to me, I'm certainly going to be betting, and I sized to $20 here. And who knew it was going to be great news? Both players make the call, so we've got action on both sides. We're going to a turn, which comes a 10. Doesn't really change a whole lot besides improving a few random gut shot straight draws, and most likely it would improve players to 2 pairs. So I size up here for $70. And guess what? The player to my left makes the call for 70, and so does the big blind. So much action here. Love to see the pot building, and we're going to a river, which comes a board pairing 8. A full house here is going to be pretty darn good. I have about $180 in my stack, and you know, easy decisions when you have a full house. I'm going to go for all of it for max value. When the big blind checks, I go all in. The player on my left thinks about her decision for a long time before tank folding. All right, big blind, bail me out, get me paid. He flicks in a call pretty quickly. That's awesome. I show pocket threes, and I win. Nice to get paid here right after showing the ace-jack bluff. I couldn't lose every single hand in this 1-3 session, luckily, and I rake in a pile of chips. This is the 1-3 chip porn that I'm looking for, so gotta love that. And the player to my left ends up saying that she folded a straight, which is crazy. Makes a hero fold with the straight, ends up being a really good one, and here we are, just back in my winning ways. Following the pocket threes, I pick up a premium in ace king of clubs. We're in the cutoff, and there's a hijack raise to $15. You know this $15 raise isn't going to stand. I 3-bet to $50. What's fun is that the player to my left on the button ends up cold calling my $50. A little bit suspicious of what he could have, but ends up folding around to the hijack player who jams. Yep. It's $230. I snap call because it's not much of a decision here with playing less than 100 big blinds deep. The player on my left who cold called end up folding, saying she folded pocket tens. Crazy fold here, but it's a good one as the hijack shows pocket kings. Oh, man. Pretty rough as we're most likely going to lose all of my profits until an ace-high flop. Let's go. Can I avoid the one outer because he only has one out to a king to win? Yep, luck box in the 1-3 streets. I win a big one for this game. Feels pretty bad to be pocket kings right now, getting it all in very, very good and end up being behind. But, you know, they don't call me a luck box for nothing. With the luck coming my way, I pick up king 4 of spades in the hijack, and as positions get later on, you're going to start raising more. So this one, why not mix it in and raise to $10? I get the big blind to make the call, and we're going to a flop of king, queen 10, 2 hearts and a diamond. He checks it over to me, and I'm going to bet for value here with top pair on a very wet board. I bet $12. And for $12, he makes the call. Going to a turn, which is a pretty cool one in the king of diamonds. 2 flush draws on board. I improve to trips with a bad kicker. He checks for a second time, and I'm just going to go for thin value all the way. I think the main way to make money in the lower stakes is to just bet for value. And I bet $30 for value, and he makes the call. Let's go to a river now, which comes a deuce, a complete brick, and he checks for a third time. I'm going to try to go for the maximum here. Considering all the draws missed, and I just have a king with a weak kicker of trips, maybe he can call with a queen a lot of time because, you know, I obviously can be bluffing a lot, so I decide to bet out $125. Pretty big pot, over betting the size of the pot, and this player goes deep into the tank and calls. I get paid. I show my trip kings here. He mucks, and I'm running hot in back-to-back hands. Not only do I win massive with ace king, but king 4, who would have known? Also a money-making hand. You know what's a money-making hand? It's pocket kings. Time to run it up. I'm in the big blind with a cutoff raise to $12. The button makes the call, and I have this beauty of a hand here. Will the run good ever stop? Let's find out as I 3-bet to 60. The cutoff makes the call. The button folds, though, but this cutoff player has about 200 plus more behind in his stack. So let's try to milk our way into getting all of it. The flop comes 4-4-3 rainbow. A total brick flop here, and I bet out $40. And he ends up just folding, which is totally fine because me winning $60 here is a good pickup of 20 big blinds. And for this game, it's great. I'm happy to take it. And for one of the last hands of the night, I pick up pocket queens next in the hijack, and I raise things up to $10. The cutoff makes the call here, and we're going to a flop of 10-7-7 rainbow. Oh boy. Here out of position with queens, this might be a mistake, but I checked in game. Probably could just bet for value, but whatever. I check, and he checks back. When the turn comes in 8, the board is a little more connected. So trying to go for value here, I bet out $25, and this player ends up raising to 65. Kind of gross, not loving the situation, as I don't think this player is going to be bluffing or overplaying just a pair of 10s here as played. Makes sense if he has a set for a full house or just a 7 for trips. I call anyways, and we're going to a river, which comes the 3 of spades. I check for a third time, just praying to see a check back, but he thinks about it for a while and just blasts out 125. Is anyone ever bluffing at these stakes? I don't think so. Did he actually hit his gutter for Jack 9? Does he have just a full house here? It seems really likely that he does have that, and hero folding pocket queens would be a pretty sick one. I just don't have a good feeling about my hand, but on the flip side, I have such a good hand here. Probably the strongest one I'll ever have as played by checking the flop and calling a raise on the turn. So I'm not sure. I don't know. I just don't think this player is ever going to be bluffing, and I'm bad. I announced it to the table that I'm most likely going to pay it off, and ultimately I just do. Folding's boring, yada, 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 and he shows me Jack 9. Yep. My suspicions were correct. He's not bluffing. He hit his gutter, and he wins. Could have just folded. But who folds over pairs, right? It's hard to do. It's painful to do. And he's going to take an extra $125 off of me. And there goes my night. All right, that was a successful 1-3 session for sure. Currently stuck because this freaking car can't move. Oh, finally. It's been 5 minutes. You finally found a way to open the gate. Anywho's, no more bitching and complaining. 1-3 session was great. It didn't start the best because I lost like every other hand I played in the beginning. And then pocket threes comes to the rescue. After that, then the very next hand picked up another big hand, and everything was pretty smooth after that. Could have found a way to make an extra $125 if I folded on the river with queens. It is what it is. In for $450, out for $818. Cue all the little stats that I have going on. Making progress, trending in the right direction in this bankroll challenge, so the goal is $5,000. I'm getting closer, so that's always good. Thank you so much for sticking to the end. Let me know what you guys think about these bankroll challenge videos, because I just wanted to show a little bit of a different series, show the journey of grinding these lower stakes and have it be more relatable. So glad I won today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.